Hey guys, I'm Tim with BleepinJeep. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to replace the worn out terminals on your vehicle. So a problem I've been having lately with my daily driver is a couple times now I've gone to start it and it gives me all the gauges, dome light, everything comes on, and then when I go to crank it, nothing. I get a click out in the engine bay, nothing. So that can be several different things. In my case, it happened to just be a poor connection to the battery, and I determined that by knocking things around with a wrench and pulling the terminals off the posts one at a time, putting them back on, and then everything worked fine. The battery was charged. So that means it is time to replace the terminals and get everything nice and clean. Maybe put some dielectric grease on there, and I will show you how to do that right now. One of the first things you're going to want to do is to disconnect your battery completely. As you can see, these things are pretty haggard, and even when they were completely tight on there, they move around. Just work that off of there. There it is. All right. So as you can see, these things are well used, to say the least. Now the terminals that I'll be replacing those with, they're kind of a generic terminal. These happen to be from CarQuest, but this is a super generic terminal that you can find from all, labeled all different brands. They sell these at Walmart. They sell them at CarQuest, obviously. Just about every place will have these. And rather than a solder style or a crimp style like the factory ones are, you simply take these leads, run them through right here, and bolt everything down. So let's open these up and I'll show you how to do that. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take a pair of dikes and cut the leads to this terminal off. But before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm going to have enough room in this new component to stack both of those. And it's going to be close. I might have to smash the end of the leads a little bit, but I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get those in. Another thing I want to do before I start cutting stuff apart is I want to make sure this fits over the post, and it does. Alright, so we're ready to start cutting stuff apart. As you can see, I'm pretty gifted with a pair of dikes. This Jeep's gonna run so good, I don't know what to do with myself. Oh yeah, ready for action. Alright, I'm gonna save you the pain of cutting the other one off, then we'll get back to it. So I've got both leads cut off the terminal here, and I've gone ahead and just sliced the housing back a little bit, and I'm trying to pull that off now. There it is. So we're just exposing a healthy amount of cable on both leads here, and these guys are going to be stacked together and going into the terminal. Alright, so I've got both of my leads here just kind of stacked on top of each other, and a good thing to do with electrical connections is to use a little bit of dielectric grease. This is pretty inexpensive and sold just about anywhere. It just helps prevent things from corroding and keeps moisture out of electrical connections. I'll be using a little bit, just a thin film on both of my battery posts, and as well as where the wires touch each other and where they touch the terminal. You don't need too much, it's just good to have a little something on there. That'll help keep all the juices flowing appropriately and keep all 12 volts right where it needs to be. Alright, let's stack these things up again as we're going to put them into the terminal. Again, I'm just kind of trying to tighten everything together here very easily. If you just loosely lay your new terminal over the post, when you go to tighten these, it's going to give you a lot more stability and make things easier. Go ahead and work those down until they're equally tightened and good and snug. Then we'll move on to the negative terminal. So there's the new terminal in place. Just tightening it on the post now, and as you can see, it fits nice and completely over the battery post. The old ones didn't. It just kind of sat over it, and then no matter how tight you got them, this gap would close and then the bolt wouldn't get tighter, so it'd stay loose. I doubt they were always like that. It probably just stretched over time. The old terminals were almost 20 years old, so this is a huge upgrade. Even though the connection isn't soldered, I don't foresee that being a problem at all. And if it ever is a problem, this is a lot easier to service and repair than a soldered connection. Alright, so here we go. This is the problem terminal. This is the one that if I just knocked around, I could get to connect again and my Jeep would fire right up. This thing is beat, so it's definitely ready to come off. So same thing, I'm just gonna rip this puppy right out of there. Oh, it must be getting weak or something. Need better cutters for this kind of thing. That's a lot of wire to cut through in one clip. Bet my welpers would make better work of this. Oh, look at that. Just having the right tool. These are the best things ever. Alright, there's the old one out of the way. Now I just need to slice this housing back and expose a little bit more cable. Alright, so exact same story here. We're going to use a little bit of dielectric grease. Just smear that around. Really do not need much of this, and it's not critical. If you don't have this, you'd probably be just fine. I don't use it often, but when I'm given the opportunity to, I realize this is a better way to protect electrical connections, so you might as well. But I've gone years and years, and I'm sure you probably have too, without using dielectric grease. But what the heck. Alright, so now these two we're just going to overlay simply like that. In the factory terminals, they have their own dedicated slots and they're spaced out like that. That spacing doesn't matter because they're going to the same hunk of lead. So we're just going to stack them wherever they feel like going. Something like that. And we'll run them right into a groove that the new terminal has. Come on. You see how this terminal isn't sitting down over the post like the positive. Let's put a screwdriver in here and open that puppy up a little bit wider. Make sure it seats down over the post all the way. Just like that. Now we'll tighten it up. That is a lot better looking terminal and connection than the factory ones that had become completely age decrepit and degraded. So I'm sure I'll have better starting issues. So I'm sure I'll have less starting issues I've had recently with these new terminals. Alright. Let's finish buttoning up loose ends here. Alright guys, that's a super effective, super simple, super cheap, awesome way to upgrade your terminals. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something, and I hope I helped you upgrade your battery terminals. This is about the simplest way that you can do it out of many different ways to replace your terminals, and there's all kinds of different options. This is about the cheapest, most generic way that you can go. but it works just fine, and I'll happily run it until I have an issue, and I don't even foresee what that issue would be. By the way, if you're interested in a super cool BleepinJeep t-shirt like this one, be sure to go to BleepinJeep.com and check out the store. Also remember to like and subscribe. Be sure to comment. I always read them. And we will see you in the next video.